welcome to today's IG Live. Also a YouTube tutorial, because I'll be posting this on YouTube later on. Today I'm going to show you the changes to the pattern for the Barrett and the Noelle to use non-stretch lace. I'm not going to be sewing one, but I am going to be showing you kind of like the guts and glory of it to show you how I constructed it. It's pretty easy, and I think that you can handle it once that you see it. So I have my Barrett Bralette cut out here, my pattern. The good news is that you don't have to do anything to the back band, but I just had it cut out for, I don't know, reason why. So if you see here, actually I forgot, but let me grab a regular Barrett Bralette so you can compare the non-stretch to the stretch one. Give me 1 second. Okay. So here is a regular Barrett Bralette as you would sew it up with the pattern without any alterations. So just to give you like a little lowdown, there is a center front seam with a cutout and there is a back band. So if you look at the one with the non-stretch lace, there is no center front cutout. This comes right to the center front and there is no back band. So I will say that the non-stretch one, obviously we're using non-stretch lace for the cup, so that adds a little bit of stability to the cups. But there is no back band. So people who are full busted might be saying, ooh, is this gonna work for me? So I'm gonna show you, or I'm gonna discuss, if you still wanna keep the back band for support sake, I'm gonna go over that as well. But I would definitely suggest this for like AA to C, maybe even a D cup. It just depends on how firm the band you use on the bottom, because what you don't want is if you use a really flimsy bottom band, this is gonna ride up in the back. So now that you can see the changes to the bralette, let me just go over the changes to the panty. So really the Noelle, all we did was lower this so that it fits the non-stretch lace, and then we added a gusset here. So usually on the regular Noelle, it's higher, and then this first piece goes all the way down. That's the only change. So let's go over the changes to the bralette first. So it is really easy. So I'm gonna put this to the side really quickly. So this is your center front pattern piece. And where'd my pen go? So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark 1/4 inch in from the center front, or the center front cutout. So I'm gonna draw a line all the way down. Okay. That is my center front line. And then I'm gonna draw a line perpendicular to that. That's 1/4 inch up from the bottom of the bralette, all the way like this. So this right here, this point is my center front. So if you look on the bralette, what I just marked right here is this point right here. What you want to do is we're going to create a new line that comes from the strap point all the way to the center front. So really easy is that you use I actually used a straight line from that point all the way up to the strap point, just a straight line, boom, boom, boom. And then I used the curved edge of my ruler and then had a nice smooth transition from the strap point down to that straight line. So that is going to be my new center front cup. Is this right here, this right here, this right here, that line right there. That's the only thing you change on the center front cup. And let me just cut it out so that you can see it. so now this is my new center front pattern piece. I did not add seam allowances on this edge because it is the scalloped edge, so it doesn't need seam allowances. If you're using regular, you know, if you're doing a regular Barrett, the center front neckline would have the 1/4 of an inch to account for the applying picot elastic. So that's the center front. So the only difference, so that is the only change to the center front piece, and then the only change to the side piece is that now this is this, so if I mark in a 1/4 of an inch, from the side seam, this right here is right underneath your like armpit area. So if you did the same thing that we did to the center front and you brought this line all the way down there, it might like bunch up in your like underarm area. So what I did is I actually brought this in about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. And that is where I created my new straight line. And then again, you don't have to add seam allowances to this. Okay. So those are my new pattern pieces for the side cup, as well as the center front cup. Now, the only thing with the, let me bring this down a little bit. Perfect. Now, I didn't change the curve of the vertical seam. However, when we sewed this up and we fit it on the dress form as well as on our fit model, we did have to bring down this curve a little bit. Again, because it was drafted for a stretch fabric, we're using non-stretch fabric, so it definitely affects fit. So what I would do is I would make a test cup and get that curve right. The kits for this style come with enough sheer cup lining that you can just quickly sew this up with just sheer cup lining, put it over your chest, and just see how that curve is fitting. And then if you need to, you can bring this in and then bring that in, the curve in. And what I mean bring that in is reduce the curve so that it's not as curvy. So those are the only 2 pattern changes. Now, now, once you made these changes, I should have said this first, I can say this now. I would suggest, since we're using a non-stretch fabric for the cups, I would suggest sizing up in the cups, but you always want to use a stretchy fabric for the back band. So let's just say normally in a Barrett you wear a straight medium. I would use a size large for the bralette cups, but I would still use the medium for the back band. Also, if you want to, now let's just say that you want to have a back band on your Barrett. You are a G, an F, or a 3XL or an XL, and you just really want that back band for support. So there is a tutorial on how to use the Barrett bralette with a scallop lace on the front edge. I would watch that tutorial. That goes over the pattern alterations to have a scalloped edge along the center front, but you still keep this shape as well as the back band. So check out that tutorial. And for that one, I would still go and use non-stretch lace for the front bralette cups and then stretchy fabric for the back. The other thing that I want, oh, the panty. Before I go over like the construction and the difference in sewing, let's go over the panty. Let me go grab this really quickly. Okay, so here we have the panty, the Noelle panty pattern. This is like super easy. I have this on cardstock because we sew a lot of it. So I have this crotch marked here. All we did all we did is we lowered this 2 inches. This was our new front pattern piece. This became our gusset. We added a 1/4 seam allowance here and here. And then this became our back panty piece. And then we lowered this 2 inches. Those were the only pattern alterations. Super easy. So just to reiterate, we lowered this 2 inches. This became a separate piece. We cut this here, we cut that there for this to be a separate piece. We added seam allowances on both lines, and then this little portion we added to the back. And then this became our whole back piece, and then we lowered this 2 inches as well. That was it. So let's go over the sewing of it. I'm gonna give you guys the guts and glory of this. So if I flip this inside out, let's see here. Super easy. So all you did is you would sew this vertical seams with a straight stitch. We serged it. Then we added the picot elastic along both edges. If you see here, we applied the flat edge against the low point of the scallop, and then we had the picots facing in. So then we attached the straps, and then we attached the bottom band. We did not even serge the bottom of the bralette cups, and then we just attached the straps at the back. So easy. And I'll show you the other one too, the other kit. So this is the other kit. Let me turn this inside out. I think it took the girls like 45 minutes flat to sew this. It was so easy. So we sewed the vertical seams, we serged them, we applied the elastic on either edge. We then attached the straps and attached the bottom band. That's it. For the panty, I'll show you the guts and glory. So we sewed the gusset on. We actually serged this, but you can clean finish it if you want. We applied the picot elastic to the top edge of the front panty. We finished the back panty just like you would with 2 passes of the picot elastic. Then we attached the front to the back, and then we sewed the picot elastic along the leg lines. And that was it. That's really simple. Again, this took the girls like 30 minutes or so. So those are the pattern alterations as well as the changes to sewing for these 2 kits. But you could use this if you use any non-stretch lace. I think it's really great to do a tutorial on this because I know many of you have non-stretch laces in your stash. It's definitely very easy to find non-stretch laces online versus stretch fabrics. So I'm really excited to be doing this tutorial. I think that's it. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments below. So that's it.